Hi guys, it's Sunday morning and I have to be a little bit quiet because Blake's right across the hall sleeping. So I've been working on some cards. Let me just do this. There they are. And I'm finishing up coloring. Oh, where? There. This one and this one. And then, so you kind of see how I assembly line. And so they're all completed except for being flowers and those types of embellishments. So that's what I'm going to get done this morning before I go to the grocery store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Pinterest. And I already printed this one, stuffing muffins. And I want to do that instead of just generic stuffing. And I told Honey I wanted to really kind of just change it up and have some different stuff. Not the same old as every year. Everybody's like, okay, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, green bean casserole. No, I want some new stuff. I want it to be different. So I'm going to tell you some really good news. Are you ready? Because I need some good news. Do you need some good news? Brianna's going to be here unless some crazy thing changes. She's going to be here Wednesday night. We'll have her all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then Savannah's going to pick her up Saturday morning and spend the day with her and then take her back to her dad. Hallelujah, praise God. We get to have her. So I had bought some stuff for her little house, and I was afraid if she wasn't going to come, I was just going to return it because I had, there's no point in keeping it if she's not going to be coming. So today, Honey's going to get her little white tree out. I'm going to have it set up and then have her ocean-themed ornaments that I bought for her. And I also thought I would get out some other things that she and I could craft more homemade ornaments together to put on the tree. And I'm going to take all my crafty stuff out to the little house and we'll actually craft in there. So I'm hoping to do that video for you guys. But I want to go ahead and do the decorations that are going to go on the ceiling and stuff like that. I want to get that done before she comes because I am a little concerned that she'll be upset that she no longer has an actual bedroom in the house. And I'm hoping she'll understand that since she doesn't come as much and, her papa's here all the time, that he needs his own space. But I'm thinking and hoping that she'll be so excited that we now have a cat because she loves cats. I mean, she loves dogs, but she loves cats. And that will, and the fact that the house is decorated for Christmas because she loves that too. And we're expecting Shane sometime between Monday and Wednesday. So, super excited to get to have Rihanna and Shane at the same time. I had really debated on what to do as far as Savannah. Do I invite her for Thanksgiving? Because, honestly, guys, it's very awkward because she is the way she is. And I was like, do I want to have that uncomfortableness? Her brother is not a big fan of hers either. And I want him to be comfortable and enjoy his time here. Talking about Shane. Blake seems to get along well with her. They've had their few little spats, but Blake seems to tolerate her pretty well, and she seems to like him. But Shane, No, not a big fan at all. So anyway, that's what's going on. So that's really good news. But back to Savannah. She did tell me that she has to work Thanksgiving Day because, as you guys know, she works at the Walmart. And so she has to work Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. So it kind of works out that, it doesn't have to, I don't need to invite her, and she doesn't need to say no because she can't come anyway. I am a little concerned about cooking, and this is my deal. You guys all know I'm a dog groomer, and that is very busy. My salon is, and most grooming salons are very busy at the holidays. We're super busy, and being still short-staffed. I mean, it's not as bad as it was initially because I did find one person that can help us with the dogs, and then I have my friends that have come to the rescue. Dana and even her son now has come to the rescue and helped us with making the holidays, getting through the holidays. And Amy was there yesterday, and she'll be there Tuesday. But still, it's a really busy, crazy time at the shop, and we talk about it and kind of mentally prepare for it. But it's still, once it gets there, it's tough. I have to tell you guys this story of this customer. So it was it Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday. No, it was Thursday. It doesn't really matter, does it? Okay. One day this week, we were super busy, and this family brought in their shepherd mix. And their shepherd mix, they hadn't had it for very long. It was a rescue, and it was a real nervous dog. But anyway, they brought it in the afternoon, and the lady came to pick it up before it was ready. So she had to wait. So she was waiting, and she could, there's a little window into Deb's room, and the lady could watch her get worked on. So, Deb finished up the dog, brought it out, and helped her get it into the car. And about an hour later, the phone rings, and I can see on caller ID it's that family's last name. So I'm like, oh shit, what happened? What's wrong? Why are they calling? And it's funny because sometimes people will call to compliment. Not super often, but sometimes people will call and they'll just be like, yeah, got home with my dog, and my dog's never looked so good. I just wanted to really thank you guys. And so anyway, I was like, okay, well, maybe that's what it was. So I answered the phone, and the guy says, yeah, my wife picked up our dog a little while ago, and the dog shit all over the back of my car. So I'm like, waiting, how does this affect me? And he goes, why don't you people take the dogs outside to go to the bathroom? And I said, well, sir, we had 24 dogs here today. We're actually working on the animals throughout the day. If a dog acts like it needs to go out, if it's dancing around or acting antsy or barking, we'll take it outside. I said, but with 24 dogs, I'd have to pay a person to be here all day to be taking dogs out nonstop. I said, it's just not possible. And he goes, well, I'm just really upset that my dog shit in my car. And I was like, then I was like, okay. I was like, I understand that. You just paid $60 to have your dog groomed, and now it's covered with poop. I totally get it. Would you like to bring the dog back? I said, I know it's 6 o'clock and we're closed, but I'm here grooming my own dogs. Do you want to bring the dog back I'll get her cleaned up for you. And then he was like, thank you so much. Yes, I will bring her. I can't even bring her in my house. I know it's not your fault. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'll be right back down. So he comes down and he comes walking in, and, you know, it's all good. He's fine now. And he comes in, and I take the dog, and I said, it'll just take me about 10 minutes. I'll get her cleaned up, and I'll bring her out to you. I said, do you want some cleaning supplies and so you can work on your car while I'm doing this? And he was like, yeah, that'd be really helpful. So he gave him some, Deb was still there with me, gave him some cleaning supplies, and he went out the door, and I took the dog in the back and put it in the bathtub and cleaned the area. I mean, fortunately, it's just the tail and the back featherings. So I got it cleaned up and blow dried it and all that. And when I was done, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and walk the dog outside and give it to him. So I went out the door, and he's like sitting on the curb right in front, like he's done with what he can do with cleaning his car. And I was like, here she is. She's ready to go. And he turns around and he's like, oh, thank you again. I'm really sorry. And I was like, oh, me too. I'm just glad I was here and able to do this for you. And he goes, I looked, there was a car like kind of off to the side. And sometimes people will park out in the parking lot and they won't park right in the front. I was like, is this your car? And he looks up at me because he's still sitting on the curb, and he goes, I was like, oh, I totally get it. He's like, yeah. He said, and this is the first time this dog has been in this car. I said, oh, I imagine it's the last time this dog's going to be in this car. And he's like, yeah. So, want to know what kind of car it was, guys? It was a brand spanking new white with white interior with paper tags still on it from the dealership. Audi. It was gorgeous. I'm not an Audi person, but this car was gorgeous. And this German Shepherd. Yeah, a German Shepherd. Shit on his white Audi. Whoa. Anyway, I'm hoping with, you know, being willing to help out and all that, that I want his business in the future. Because I've had people before that, you know, they may have had some kind of bad experience or whatever. I've had people I've had to charge them extra and they haven't been happy about it. But once I produce a real quality grooming, then they are like, okay, now I get it. And they end up being customers for life. So, anyway, I just had to share that story with you. It was like, oh my God. There are so many stories, grooming salon stories that are just interesting. Some of them are insane. But my mom has, and not just because of that, but my mom has told me before. She's like, Marina, because she calls me Marina, you have so many stories. You should write a book. And at one time, I did actually think of being an author. Savannah actually would like to be an author. She writes stories. Savannah's actually a very good artist. Very, very good artist. Very talented. She's drawn me pictures as gifts that, you know, I've framed hanging on the wall, and not because they were from my kid, but because they're very quality work. I tried to get her to start a to do digital images to sell for people to color. And, you know, the thing about Savannah is that she's just not motivated in that way. She's not entrepreneurial in her brain. Oh, I am busy talking and not contemplating where I'm putting this. I had the weirdest dream last night, guys. I have to tell you the funniest story. So, honey and I, we had a really bad week. We argued 3 nights in a row about stupid shit. And it was his stupid shit, not my stupid shit. I'm pointing that way because that's the direction of our bedroom. Anyway, he got mad at me. Okay, you guys got to tell me this. Okay, so one of our disagreements was okay, so you guys know I got the cat. And he likes the cat a lot. He's told me. He goes, I really like her. So that's not the issue. But I came home from Sam's the other night, and I had seen dog beds there. And normally they're large. It's like for a large dog, one large dog bed. Normally those kind of beds are like $75. This was a really nice large dog bed for $25. So I thought to myself, oh, that's not going to fit in the 2 places, because I have a dog bed in the craft room and I have a dog bed in the laundry room, and I need smaller ones for there. I was like, where could I put this? Where could I put this? I was like, oh, we moved the desk out of our bedroom. I could put it in the bedroom and make the dogs sleep in the bed that's for them instead of the bed that's for us. Because Rizzo is like a sack of potatoes. She will not, I mean, you can be like trying to roll over, and if she's there, you ain't rolling over unless you sit up, wake up, pick her up, and move her. And Angel, what happens with Angel is Angel likes to like get up by her head and stuff. Anyway, it's a pain in the butt. I like the dog sleeping in the bed, but I want him to sleep way at the end of the bed and not impede what I need to do. So, I get this bed, I come in, he's like, why'd you buy this bed? It's awful big. It's not going to fit where you need it to fit. I was like, yeah, it is. I have this great idea. And he's like, I don't think that's going to work. So, the next day, he comes home from work, and we're talking, everything's fine. And later on in the evening, I get my dinner, and I go in there, and I'm going to watch my show, and the dog, Rizzo, instantly loved the bed. She was like, dang, I'm down. You don't have to tell me twice. This is my bed. So she was like totally digging it. So she was in the bed, and Angel was on the people bed. And I was like, Angel, get in your bed. So she was like, she went over and she got down and she went laid in bed. And he's standing there, and I can see the look on his face. Well, the cat's on the bed with me. And he goes, so, why are the dogs not allowed on the bed, but the cat is? I was like, it's different. I'm watching television, so the cat is, you know, cuddling with me. And when it's bedtime, you know she doesn't stay on the bed. Cats are not like dogs. They don't just stay on the bed. They go walking around everywhere, checking everything out. They're nocturnal. She's not going to be impeding our sleep, and she doesn't stink like dogs stink. I mean, the reality is we're really busy this week. I don't have time to wash my dogs twice a week. And when it's snowy and rainy and they get stinky, and no, when it's like that, they just need to sleep in their bed. And he was like, you don't have any feelings. you don't love the dogs. Now you just love the cat. And I mean, he was like hardcore pissed off at me. I mean, like freaking hardcore. And he and I love my dogs. You guys know I love my dogs. And you guys know I do love dogs. But in my head, although, yes, they're family members, and if they're sick, I would take them instantly to the vet. And yes, I bought them a nice comfy bed, and I buy them good food, and I make sure they have treats, and they get treats every time they go outside and come inside. And, you know, we love our animals. But they're still animals. And if you want to train them to sleep in the bed on the floor instead of the people bed, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He's like, they've been sleeping in the bed for 7 years and no. And I was like, yeah, and they can be trained to sleep in the comfy bed on the floor. Oh, but look at them. They're looking up at the cat and they're thinking, oh my God, now the cat's taking over. And it's like, no, they're not. Look at Rizzo. She is totally digging it. She's like, and happy as a clam. She's not down there jealous and upset. Now, would some dogs be jealous and upset? Yeah, there are some dogs that are jealous, just like there's some people that are jealous. But I was just like, this is a way bigger deal than it needs to be. Anyway, after about 10 minutes, I was like, fine, everybody can be on the bed. It's cool, no problem. Not worth fighting about. No. It's fine. That didn't resolve the problem. He kept being mad. And he was like, you just don't understand. I said, no, I understand how you feel. I totally understand how you feel. I get it. I just don't agree with it. He wasn't getting the difference of, I get it, but I don't agree with it. And I kept telling him, you're not going to make me agree with you. But what I am doing is I am respecting your feelings and honoring those feelings by saying, okay, everybody can just be on the bed. So anyway, we fought about that for hours. And then the next day he was like, I'm sorry. And then everything's just supposed to be okay. So after a couple days later, I was like, okay, look, is it okay if the dogs can be on the bed while we're watching TV, and the dogs can be in the bed anytime except when we're sleeping? Can we make them understand they have to sleep there at nighttime? Would that be okay? And then he was like, okay, we can do that. Oh my God. So last night we, well, remember Sunday night was supposed to be our date night. Oh man, I put that up too high. So he had proposed for Sunday night to be our date night from now on. And I was like, okay. So last Sunday night we went out, and so he comes home the other day and he's like, we're going to need to move our date night. I was like, why? He gets this little sheepish look. Because the Cowboys are playing Sunday night. I was like, oh, that's funny. Walking Dead was on last Sunday night. And I went out on a date night with you and watched Walking Dead later. He's like, please? I was like, next weekend's my birthday. So, no, we can't skip date night this weekend for next weekend when next weekend's my birthday and you have to do date night then anyway. I was like, we're going to go out Saturday night. And he doesn't like to go out after working all day, but I like doing that. It gives me something to look forward to all day long on a busy day. And so he was like, okay. So we're giving our living room furniture to his nephew. And that's another thing we thought about. But that's a story for another day. So we went to a furniture store to look at and we were we had talked about getting new living room furniture. I just thought after we ordered the skylights, because we got the biggest skylights they have, and we had talked about skylights that were going to be much more reasonably priced. And then when we're shopping online, he was like, oh, I really like these, and they're 6 feet long by 2 feet wide. And, anyway, we ordered the more expensive one. So I kind of just thought, okay, we'll get a new couch on the back burner. But little did I know, he promised to give them away. I'm sure you can imagine what the disagreement was about. Anyway, so they're going bye-bye in about 2 weeks. So we went to go look, and we went to this place, and we got there probably about 10 minutes before they were closing. We didn't know they were closing in 10 minutes. But we looked through half the store, and the guy comes over, and he's like, hey, guys, we're closing, and I'd stay open for you, but I have to get to the bank and do some other stuff. And we just kind of both looked at each other, and Honey was like, I should have told him that we just moved here, and we needed to furnish our house, that we were going to furnish the whole house. I was like, no, let's just go. So anyway, we left, and we went to one of our favorite places to eat called Hacienda Colorado. Awesome place. Ambiance is good, service is always good, and the food is outstanding. They have the thinnest fresh made chips ever, and their salsa is divine. I told Honey before, there was one year where I told we usually would go out on Christmas Eve night. Our family tradition when the kids were young and growing up, even till they were teenagers, was we would go to Christmas Eve service at 5, and afterwards we would go to a restaurant and have Christmas Eve dinner, and then come home and open gifts. That was our family tradition. And where was I going with this? Oh, so one year I was like, let's not go out this year. How about everybody in the family will pick something that they would like to eat, and I will either fix it or I'll go and get it. So, Savannah would want whatever. I don't remember what Savannah wanted, but I do remember what Shane wanted, and he wanted chips and salsa from Hacienda Colorado. So I stopped there and picked up chips and salsa, and that was, one of the things in the dinner that Shane wanted. Anyway, so we went there last night, and she came by, and she's like, would you guys like a cocktail? And I kind of laughed. I was like, no, I don't drink. And he goes, yeah, I'll have a whatever, beer, some kind of beer. And he goes, and she'll have a strawberry margarita. And I looked at him, and I was like, no. And he's like, yes. He's like, it's been a tough week. You need something to take the edge off. By the time we left, it came, and it was in this goblet, this huge goblet. And I took a sip, and it was the best strawberry margarita I had ever had. So I drank it. And at one point, towards the end of the margarita, it went down the wrong tube. And I'm like coughing and coughing and coughing. And you know how when you got something stuck and you're coughing and belching at the same time? It was so embarrassing. And I was coughing so much that I could see there were waiters that were like, oh God, who's calling 911? They were waiting to see if I was gonna pass out or something. And Honey was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I kept going, because I couldn't breathe. And I told him no. He asked me, and I told him no twice. I'm not okay. And he didn't do anything. I was like, were you waiting for me to die? And he was like, no, I was watching. Anyway, I was like, I couldn't. It was the scariest thing. It was super scary. I was truly scared. And I've had things go down the wrong pipe before, and it's uncomfortable and unpleasant and all that, but I've never actually been scared. And I was scared. So anyway, I finally got over it about 2 minutes before our food came. And anyway, after that, I ate. And I told him, I was like, I'm starting to feel woozy. I'm really starting to feel woozy. By the time it was time to go, he had to help me get out of the booth and help me get to the truck. And I was like, normally I'm the designated driver. Fortunately, this restaurant is only about 1.5 miles from our house. He goes, I just had a beer. I'll drive. So he drove home, and we got home. He had to help me get undressed. And at one point, he said something funny, and I like fell on the floor. And I'm laughing and laughing hysterically. I cannot stop laughing. And he's laughing. It was so funny. I do not drink. I am the biggest lightweight. Get it? The biggest lightweight. So anyway, last night was fun. But we still need to go find new furniture. And actually, I was kind of mad about that whole furniture thing, but now I'm kind of excited about new furniture because I really do hate the furniture that we have. So yeah, kind of looking forward to it now. And as it appears, those skylights should get put in pretty quick. So you guys will get video of that. I got an email saying your order's on its way. And when I told him that the order was already on its way, he was like, no, they said that wasn't going to ship until December something. Yep. All right. Anyway, we have a lot of dogs coming up this week. We'll probably groom 75 dogs in 3 days. That's a lot of dogs. I'd really like to do a video from the shop. I know some of you used to enjoy when I would do that, but now that I can't put video clips together, I don't know, I just don't. But I really am hoping that the Monday after Thanksgiving that I can have someone come over and help me, and good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I can learn to edit even just a little bit. So anyway, I may do another video later for you guys. I know somebody, do you want to do comments? Let me look at this email real quick and see what it says.